sale. We understand that these are usually sold by the banks or other financial institutions. So now we have to start thinking, what are they called? The first thing that comes to our mind is, of course, the word bank, right? So here, we do a drop down, right? And it says, I don't know if you've ever seen this, starts with, contains, or equals. In order for us to get the maximum returns, we have to say contain, because it could be in the middle fast, in the front, in the back. So if it was Bank of Montreal, it's in the front. If it's Toronto TD Bank, it would be in the middle, you know, at the end. So you have to kind of make it general to include all that in your search. So I would say bank is first. Is that correct? So I'll say or, there it is, you just put it down here. So now I create a second one. So now I can keep on building. What else? Credit? Credit union? Right? What else? Mortgage?
Do we do LLC?
LLC?
But LLCs will bring company.
It will be companies also, right? So remember that LLC might be for lawyers and popping up, but it's also companies. So you're gonna get what we call a lot of false positives. You're gonna get stuff that are picked up but are not really power of sales. But you can keep it there. I'm not gonna put it, but I'm gonna put what is called receiver, because many are receiver general, right? Receiver. You're into receivership, you'll see some of them pop up.
Receiver, seller, receiver.
Yeah. I'll tell you. So let's say we build it, right? And we count. And we'll see that there are 12 listings right now that search. I will give you the full list of almost 98% of what comes up, okay? So right now, I've noticed that just in Brampton and in Mississauga, there are 12 right now, currently, sold. Let's see if it's 12. Actually, let's move to broker full. Okay, so here, because we have credit view, that's not a power of sale. That's not a power of sale. That's not a power of sale. Neither, right? Because Cold Bank picked up the word bank. There it is, Toronto Dominion Bank. Here's a power of sale. One. Scotia Mortgage. Here's another word, corporation, that might. That's why you can't just generate these and send them out to your clients. You have to clean them up. Okay? Remington Timber Bank is a company. So is this. Bank of Nova Scotia. There's another one. Equitable Bank. Another power of sale. Right? Sometimes you will see this in a power of sale. This word. Sold as is, where is. Has anybody done a power of sale ever? No? In a power of sale situation, you will get a separate contract, a separate agreement, or insert schedule that is specifically for the power of sale. In the power of sale, no, there are no guarantees. Okay? So basically, it doesn't mean that you cannot do an inspection on it, you can't get financing, but these are non-conditional. When you go in, you pick it up as is, where it is. Okay? So you have to let your clients know that when we move into a power of sale and we want to purchase a power of sale, right, we will have to do all the homework before we put in an offer. You understand that? Usually that's how we approach it. So as is, where is. So now it stays up here, the term as is, where is, which is going to be part of our searches in the future. Okay? So let's go back. Number one is also a street capital mortgage corporation. This is also a power of sale right now. It's 5 days on the market, 15 days on the market. As we reach the 30, right, 20 days on the market. We get this one, as this one, 15 days on the market. So you'll see that as soon as we start reaching the 40 days, 50 days, they'll actually start lower. They'll do a price change, most of them. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So even like it's as is, right, so there's no any inspection condition, right?
Mhm.
But we still can do the inspection. Will they allow us
Yeah, they should allow you.
in the conditional time, right?
Yeah. You do it
No,
before,
but there's no conditional time. We have plans and conditions.
you can book an appointment to do an inspection,
Same time.
before.
Before we put the offer.
Yeah.
But I think you can do
When
condition too.
we're going for the showing, right?
They want no conditions, because when they say sold as is where is, it's not a matter of, logically, they want take it or leave it.
So
Really,
most
that's
people
what
are
it
doing
is.
inspections
But-
to calculate the cost of repair.
That's right. Yeah,
But
is there
we
something,
still have a condition for the financing.
usually no,
That all cleared before.
usually no, I haven't seen that.
One question, like, talking about this, it's not totally directed related to this, but, how do we check on liens and stuff like that, or we just have to go through a lawyer prior to put it in the
No,
offer, I'm assuming?
unless you have access to the land registry and the banking system, you can purchase actually everything that's on title. Right, it's cost about $25, I think.
Yes, but that's only updated just to that point, right? Which means that doesn't stop them, that they can't put a lien on it still, or is it
Well,
possible or not?
you have to ask the lawyers, but there's a specific time frame of how many days later they can put a lien on the property for work done prior to. Right, so there's a time, I think it's 120 days or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So you have to, that has to expire. As soon as that passes, and there's no other lien, it's done. Right? But the lawyers know a lot. So, logically, because it goes to court, right? It goes to court, the court will have to say, yes, you're okay, you can sell the property under power of sale. All these conditions really don't apply. Right? They don't care. Right? So take it, buy it, whatever it is, get pre-approved, and come in with no conditions. Most likely, you'll see them, even if you put them in, they'll cross them out. At least we've done a few of them, they don't accept.
There's gonna be title search still, right, by the lawyer?
They could do it, yeah, they could do everything.
So the liens and everything will be figured out later on anyways.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Plus, don't forget that you're getting title insurance.
Yeah.
You pay $250 now, or whatever that is, you get title insurance, which covers all that. So if there's any mistake and this and that, if it's not 30 feet, it's 32 or 29, all that is covered by title insurance. Right? Excellent. So these are the searches, for example, some of them. And what you could do is you can turn around and say, you know what, I do this every day, so you want to do this every day. What you can do is you can go here, up here, and save that search in this flex search area, and do multiple searches. Okay? So you can always do by area, by what they are, by price, anything you like. And in here, I would say, for example, POS, power sale, Mississauga, Brampton, if I wanted to. And I can save it. Criteria saved. So now, if I were to go out, go back into search, go back into flex, right, go here, and just drop this down, and use it, it remembers what I can. See that? It's beautiful. So now, you start building once all these searches, you save them with what you know, and you forget about it. You can do power of attorneys. You can do whatever you want, right? Anything that you can imagine. There's a power of sale. So this is one way of doing this, right? I'll show you a different way. Let's just delete all these. Delete all
What
these.
is a trust sale? When sometimes you see trust sale, what
See,
is
trust.
that?
They're under trust. Somebody else is selling it.
Somebody
So
else,
it
so-
could be a situation, that's right, that they're selling it, somebody else is selling it for.
So it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be underpriced or anything.
No. No. But if it's a power of attorney, it might mean that the person that's the owner of the property might not be capable of selling it themselves.
So is it the same power of attorney and trust? Is it the
Well,
same?
it all depends. It's, in trust is different, it is quite different than a power of attorney. So you're looking at power of attorneys, which means that they handed it to somebody else to sell it for them, to be responsible. So,
Okay.
so there could be somebody elder, it could be a young child, underage, or somebody that's very sick and they can't do it themselves. So those could be opportunities, right? You have to investigate yourself. So the other way of a power of sale, of course, is now to find the word power of sale, right? As we understand, this, we can turn around and say, okay, the actual seller, right? Which is the seller, let's go back to the seller name, sometimes has the word POS, correct? Power of sale. Or some agents prefer to say P.O.S. Or sometimes the agents want to say P space O space S. Do you understand now that just by typing one, you're not going to get all of them? It all depends. It's, hey, it's open. You can do whatever you like in there. So now if you do a count, of course you'll find nothing there. Okay? So no power sales that are meant. Or, let's do this one more, the best one, power of sale. Nothing. Okay. Sorry? Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. Very nice. You noticed that. Thank you. And there it is. It worked. So now when we come in, we'll see that it's a false positive. Mrs. Esposito, POS, right in the middle of her name, right? As postulum comes up and some other names, unfortunately, Posterado. You know what, these are not power sales. Do not send them out to your clients saying that this is a power sale. They go to, and they complain. Okay, so. Okay, so let's go back into the search. I'm gonna go to Flex Search one more time. And I'm gonna show you now some other opportunities for you to consider, okay? So, as you can see here, I have certain searches that I built that are interesting, right? And what I want to promote out there and what I want to capture clients for. So for example, if I want to see the expired commercial daily, right, and I want to use this, I say last status is expired or terminated. And last update, I'll tell you what this means. If I want to see a last update, let's do an expiry date. Let's do an expiry. Do I have an expiry? I don't. I want to show you this. Not many know it. Expiry date. So when I say an expiry date, I can turn around and write the actual date. I can say expiry date is 12/21/2013. Right? Well, I can say the same thing by using the term T as in time. Okay? And you do T plus 3 means in 3 days from now, or T minus 5 goes 5 days backwards. Okay, so if I don't remember and whatever, I can say T, and okay, I can say T minus 3 to T, which means 3 days ago to now, and it'll pop up the specific information. Okay, just another interesting little, delete it if you want to delete it. So here I'm looking, for example, for commercial that expire minimum 400,000. I can change it. I can say, no, I want it 1 million or more, right? And then I can submit it. I select an area. Now these are older, so I would say all of Toronto, or I can say all of Ontario, if I wanted everything under over $1 million. And the thing is that they haven't expired. Maybe that is the case, okay? So remember, you have to play with the dates to know exactly what is working. So I can revise the criteria, and I can turn around and say, what's gonna expire in 2 days? Okay, this is an old search. I can say, find lots under 150,000, right? Between 50 and 150 that are detached, right? And let me just delete this. You see that? I can find land. So if you're into land sales, you can turn around and put a search that just gives you vacant land. See that?